welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to test out some Revolution and Revolution Pro items. Some things are already or were already in my collection. There's 2 or 3 items that are new to me. But if you're not new to this channel, you know that whenever I'm trying out new makeup, I try to use as many products as I can that are from the same brand. So the new products that I have are the Revolution, the Plastic Boy palette. And this is the packaging of it. Kind of looks like chocolate or a silk sheet. And this is a part of the Forever Flawless collection. I have several of these palettes. And it comes with a mirror, and this is how the palette, hopefully this shows on camera, but this is how the actual palette looks. And I also purchased the highlighter that came out with this collection. So this is how the highlighter, let me wipe it off. This is how the highlighter looks, or the packaging for the highlighter. And this is the actual highlighter. It comes with a mirror as well. Now, I already have 2 of their Splendor Ultra Matte Bronzers. The first one that I have is in the shade Medium. And the other one is in the shade Deep. So we're going to play around with those. I do have a bronzer Reloaded in the shade Long Weekend. And this is how it looks. These are things that were already in my collection. This is the Splendor Ultra Glow highlighter. So this is another highlighter. But my plan is to use the highlighter out of the Plastic Boy collection. I do have a blush and highlighter palette from them that looks like this. What else? I have a liquid blush from them that's in the shade Peaches. I'm sorry, in the shade Peaches. I have 2 of their Super Dewy liquid blushes. And let's see if I can. I think I had an issue with these before. The name of the blushes are really, really small, so I'll have to put these on the screen. But these are the true shades of them. And then I recently purchased the Excess blush in the shade Irony. This is the packaging. And these are the blushes that come in these little cases. Comes with a mirror, and then that's the shade. So I'm not sure what blush or what other products I'll be using outside of the palette and the highlighter. I have another palette. This is the Ocean Face palette from Revolution. It looks like that. And this is not new to my collection. I've used this in a couple of videos. And then finally I have the IRL Filter Longwear Foundation in the shade F14. So I've used this in a video, I think, as well. And then I have 2 of their concealers. I have the shades C11 and C12. And I also have their Cut Crease Canvas in the shade Illustrate. And then I have the Revolution Ultimate Eye Base. This is in Medium. So I did use some new products for my brows today. Not really sure how I feel about them. I used the e.l.f. brow lift. And then I did sculpt my brows today with the, what are these? What's the name of them? Brow creams. So I used Java and I used Mocha. Java is a little bit too dark and Mocha is a little bit too light for my liking. So I did mix them together, but I'm still not sure how I feel about them. I'll make a decision with the final look. I cleaned underneath my brow with my Juvia's Place concealer, but I'm going to go in with this eyeshadow primer as well. And I won't use too much because I already have a product there. And I'm just going to take a buffing brush. This one is from Real Techniques. It says crease prep brush, but I'm going to use it to buff out the product that I just applied. And if you see me looking away, it's because I'm using one of the mirrors on the side of me. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and prime my face. I have a Revolution primer, but I don't want to open it simply because I'm trying to use up the primers that I have already open. So I am going to go ahead and moisturize with my Pond's moisturizer. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, I did color correct underneath my eyes already. This is the Black Radiance True Complexion Corrector. And this is in the shade orange, just orange. And I don't have profound dark circles underneath my eyes, but I can see them, so they're enough to bother me. So that is why I color corrected today. And I'm going to go in with, this is a breathable soft matte foundation, so I don't want to go in with a matte primer. I think I'm going to use, I'll use my e.l.f. Putty Primer today because I haven't used it in a while. Okay. Make sure that's blended everywhere. I think I still have something that's okay. So I may go in and add some more primer, but for right now, that's all I'm going to use. Now I have taken a look at this palette already, and actually I've used it for a video that I was supposed to have been uploading, but something went wrong with the footage, so I apologize. So I'm going to try to redo that video. But this palette is a warm tone palette, and it has some neutral colors, which is normally my go-to. So although I have several palettes that probably have this same color story, I like to purchase different palettes from different brands just to see how the actual product works. So that you're going to find that some eyeshadows that you apply from different products or from different brands, they're going to last longer, they're going to be different, they're going to feel different and look different on your eyes. So today we're going to play around with this palette. So I think I'm going to use Madness, which is this shade right here. So I'm going to start off with that shade, and I am going to take, this is a blending crease brush from Sonia Cashew. I'm going to use this brush, and I may switch brushes here and there, but I'm going to start off with this one. And I'm just kind of going in a, not really back and forth, I guess, but just placing the product on my face or on my eyelids in the shape of a half moon. And I'm going to have to grab my mirror because I can see, but I can't see as well as I probably would if I were looking directly in the mirror. Okay. So first thing that I noticed, this eyeshadow does give a little kickback, so you may want to tap your brush when you're picking up the product so that you don't pick up too much. But it does have a decent amount of pigmentation. You can see it when you apply it. All right. So I think the next shade that I want to go in with is going to be Period. Period with a T. So it's this shade right here. Let's see if I want to use the same brush. And so I want to just place Period right here at the edge of my crease, because I want to give my eyes a little bit of depth and dimension. So I'm placing it there. I'm going to blend it, but I don't want to move it around too much because that's where I want it to stay. And this is kind of my go-to with a lot of looks. I like for my outer corner or my crease area to be a little bit darker. Sometimes I'll put black there. Sometimes I'll put a brown. It just depends. And this actually, once I put it on my eyes, coming off as like a burgundy shade, and that's fine. Okay, and hopefully you can see this on camera. I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is a BH Cosmetics brush. It's brush number 8. It's a little bit smaller. So I want to take that to kind of blend out or blend in that darker brown shade that I put on my eyes. Because I want it there, but I don't want it to be harsh, if that makes sense. And I am also going in to just blend out those edges so that everything kind of ties in together well. And I want to go back in with that first brush that I had, and I'm just going to use my brush sponge to kind of clean it off a little bit, because I just want to blend in that first shadow shade that we put on, which was Madness. And these are typical colors that I would wear to work, because they go very well with my skin tone and it's not doing too much. Now there are some shadows, shimmer shadows down here. Let's see. So all 6 of these are shimmer shadows, or look like they're shimmer shadows. Let's see. So I'm going to swatch them because I'm not sure which one I want to use, or if I want to use one. I normally have a wipe. I wasn't prepared today. Let's see. So I actually swatched them in the order that they are in the pan. So this one is Mavis. This one is Occur. This one is Above Me. This one is Sis. This one is The Moment. And this last one is Bougie. I'm kind of liking Above Me. I think I'll use that one, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, and there is a darker brown in this palette, which is Sip and Slay. Is this shade right here. So I may go in with a little of that. Just to get it to be a little bit darker. Okay. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to go back in with that smaller BH brush and just blend again. And you could leave these two colors if you like, just to put like a pop of color on your lid. You can just leave those two colors. But I want to have some sparkle somewhere. So I am definitely, now I'm not sure. I want to try it first to see how it goes on alone. And then if I feel like it needs something else, I may add a little bit of water to my brush. So I'm going to go in with Above Me. And I think this comes off pretty well without spraying the brush or anything. Yeah, I think that comes off pretty good. So I may come back into this palette, but for right now, this is all that I'm going to use. And I just want to kind of blend the edges of that out. Okay. And I am going to add just a little bit more of the primer to my forehead. And I'm just taking this e.l.f. primer brush and blending it in. And the last time I wore this foundation, it was the summertime. So hopefully it will still be, I'm going to add some more overall. It'll still be a good color match. All right. And again, this is the IRL Filter Foundation, Longwear Foundation, breathable Soft Matte in the shade F14. It is oil free. It claims to have a 16-hour wear. This is not a wear test. I've used this before. I am going to take my foundation brush from Royal and Lang Nickel. And I'm just going to use that to apply my foundation. You can use any brush. You can use a sponge if that's your preference. Let's see. it'll still be a good match once it oxidizes down. So I'm going to take my Real Techniques foundation Instapop face brush. It's the brush number 202, and this is what I'm going to use to press the foundation in. I'm gonna push my headband back just a little bit, because I like to get a little foundation at the beginning of my hairline. And I don't know if it shows on camera, but I do have a mole right here that's kind of raised. And I don't try to cover it up. It doesn't bother me that it's there, but it's still kind of small. So I do put makeup on it, but not to cover it, just because I'm placing the product. And sometimes I forget that the mole is even there. And I like the way that it applies. It does make my skin look smooth. So I like that. Okay. So it didn't take much. That was only like 1 pump of the foundation. Yeah, I like this. So the concealers that I have, I want to make sure I don't have C11 and C12. They're both on the bright side to me. But of course, if you're not new here, you know that I prefer a brighter under eye. But I'm not sure about these. But we're going to try it out. So this is the Revolution Super Size Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. And again, I'm going to go with 12 because it seems to be just a little bit lighter. This is 12. This is 11. Let me make sure. They look the same at first glance, but once you put them up to light, and C12 appears to be a little bit darker. And if it's too light for me, I'll probably just go in with one of my other concealers. But I'm going to try to use this one. And it looks like it's really creamy, so I'm not going to overdo it. I'm going to try not to overdo it. And I'm not sure how this dries down, so I need to get to moving so that I can blend it in. I feel like I put more on the right side than I did this side. So I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and apply some on my chin. And I normally use a setting brush. Let's see, this is the brush number 402 from Real Techniques. And I'm going to start with my chin, just pressing that in. And then I'll move on to my eyes. This looks, once I put it on, or now that I've put it on, it looks more peach to me. I'm not quite sure, but that's how it looks to me. It may look a little bit different on camera. And I try to press in everything. Sometimes I find myself moving it around, but I try for the most part to just press everything in. And I do not have a powder from Revolution, so I'm going to use whatever is here on my vanity. I think I'm going to put a little underneath my chin. I'm sorry, underneath my nose. And a little bit on my forehead. Okay, so I'm gonna use a Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 355 Coconut. And I'm using this to set the concealer. I am going to take my foundation brush and I'm just going to go over the bottom edges of that concealer. Oh, my nose is itching, sorry. I'm going to do the same around my chin and my forehead. And now I'm going to go in with my Uma Beauty Trip and Smooth powder that I have in this little canister. And I'm going to use that to go back in under my eyes. And I'm just going to press this powder. Just pressing it in basically. Okay, so I press that powder in. Now I have to figure out which bronzer I am going to use. And I think I'm going to use, first I'm going to go in with medium. Just because I think the deep is a little bit too dark for me. And you get a lot of this product. And I think these were like, can't remember if they were $6 or $8. And I'm just using an angled brush. And I'm applying this with my angled brush from Cala. This was from Shop Miss A, but I'm gonna go back in. This is a Morphe brush that I purchased, and so I'm just gonna press the product in with this brush. This is something that I don't typically do with my makeup application. Normally I use a cream and then go in and set with the powder. But I am trying new things this year. So I think this bronzer is more of a, or this, yeah, it contours definitely, but it's a little bit lighter than I normally prefer. Let's see if I put a little bit. Ooh, real pigmented. You gotta be light-handed with this stuff, I tell you. Okay, let's go back in with that. Don't want the edges to be too harsh. Now I do want to set underneath where I am bronzing and contouring at. So I'm gonna go back in with that powder. Actually, I have a Sephora translucent setting powder that I want to use. It's in the shade 00 Universal. This is how it looks. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit into the cap. I'm gonna take this sponge . Let's see, Sephora. I'm gonna let this sit for a moment. Let that sit for a moment, and then I'm gonna set my entire face with my Sephora Sephora Micro Smooth powder. Okay, where's the other? I'm losing stuff now. What did I do with the other? Okay, here it is. Okay, so now I'm going to figure out the blush. And honestly, I think, let me swatch one first. Okay, so these are the swatches from this. I don't want to use this because I do want to use the highlighter from the Plastic Boy collection. So although these are pretty, so I am going to try to use this irony shade and just go in with a light hand because it looks like it's going to be very pigmented. Before we do that, I want to go in with one of these cream shades. I think this one is Blushing for You. I want to try that one. That's the shade of it. And then the other one is can't. Is it? It looks like fake the blush. I'll put it on the screen because I can't see. So that's that one. I think I want to use this one. So what brush? I think I want to apply it with my hands first. And I'm going to use the top of my sponge. It's pretty. It's a little light for me, but I'm going to go back in and use this one. I just wanted to try that one first. I'm going to use my blush brush. I like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush just to take a little of the pigment off the brush because I don't want it to be too light. Uh-oh. That's better. I may have to move this to right here. Let's see. Won't mess up anything. Okay. Okay. And I think, yeah, I'm going to use this Sephora to set my entire face. And I want to, I'm gonna use, find my brush. Let's see. Okay, I think the name of this brush is rubbed off, but I want to use this to contour my nose with. And I don't really like powders to contour my nose. So I'm going to use my Sephora Make No Mistake foundation stick. And I'm going to go back in with that brush to actually blend it out. And I usually go from my eyelid down my nose, right underneath my brows. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out. And then I'm going to take some of that concealer and I'm going to put it down the bridge of my nose. I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand. And I need a small little brush, kind of like this one. And I'm going to saturate the brush, just putting the product on the front and the back. I'm I'm going to place it down the center of my nose. And at the tip. And let that dry down a little bit. It's a little bit messier than I wanted it to be, but it'll be okay in the end. Okay, and then I'm gonna take that highlighter. Again, that's how it looks. I'll swatch it for you. That's how it swatches. So it gives off a lot of pigment, but it's still kind of on the subtle side. So I'm just going to tap my brush. And these are the places that I normally highlight. I'm going to take my brush and just kind of blend that in. And I'm also going to take, hair got in my nose, sorry. I'm going to take some on my smudge brush. I'm going to put a little on my brow bone. And now I'm going to go back in with this brush and blend out my concealer. I want to go back in with the brush that I used for the shimmer shade, which was Above Me. And I just want to bring it over some. And I'm going to take that little blending brush that I had. And I'm going to go back into Period. And kind of blend them together. And I'm going to go back into Sip and Slay. Just to blend out the edge a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take some, what spray do I have? So I have a Maybelline setting spray 16-hour wear matte finish, and I have the NYX dewy finish. I'm going to use the Maybelline. Well, I think I'm going to use the Maybelline. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let that dry down a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, so thank you all for watching this video. This is the final look. I did go in and just use this. This is a Wet n Wild multi-stick. What is the shade? Oh, child, I can't see that. Okay, so I'll add the shade name on the screen, but this is how it looks. And I think I purchased these from Dollar Tree, if I'm not mistaken. So I just added that to my waterline. The lip product that I use is the Pout Bomb Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Kiss. This is from Revolution. And I line my lips with the Sephora lip liner in the shade Molasses. I was looking for, I remember buying some lipsticks from Revolution. I don't know where they are right now, but I think I bought about 4 or 5 shades of those. So I was looking for that and couldn't find it, so I just used this. And I had another shade of this. I can't remember if I used it up or not, but it's just a baby pink gloss or plumping gloss. And I think that's it. I added my lashes. What else did I do? Mascara on my lashes, but that was it. So hopefully you all are pleased with this video. Please let me know your thoughts down below. I have some products, I'm awaiting some products, and so that I can film my first haul of 2023. So once all of those products come in, I will be uploading, filming and uploading that video. But that is all that I have for you all today. Until next time, stay blessed and blush.